Hello friends! Welcome back to another Maker Monday. I'm Miss Abby from the La Crosse Public Library, and this month we are going to make tile coasters. So here you can see one of my finished products. In your kit from the library, you'll have a ceramic tile, you'll have some Mod Podge, which is a kind of sealant or glue, tissue paper, and a paintbrush. And together we're going to make a beautiful stained glass looking tile coaster that you can use to set your favorite beverage, either warm or cold, on top of. All right, let's begin. All right, friends, let's begin. If you've opened up your kit from the library, you'll have your nice ceramic tile. So this is the back side, that bumpy texture side. We're going to be working with the smooth front side. You'll have a little cup of Mod Podge. So it's looks like glue. It's very similar to glue, but it's a sealant, so it will dry clear. And you'll have a bunch of different tissue paper of different colors, shapes, and sizes. So let's begin. This is a pretty simple project. One tip I will give you is that you don't want to coat your whole tile right away in Mod Podge. It is a very quick drying sealant, so you want to work a little by little. So I'm just going to dip a little bit on my of the Mod Podge on my brush and just coat a corner. You might want to have something to set your brush down on so it doesn't make the surface of your table sticky. And then once you have that on, you're going to gently press your tissue paper in. You can do more than one piece at a time. And then what we're going to do is gently coat the tissue paper with a bit more Mod Podge. And this takes a little bit of finesse because it can wrinkle. So I just like to brush very gently. And you can see I'm just going to coat it very lightly. So it has a little bit of Mod Podge underneath and a little bit more on top. And then we just keep moving. So you can really move in any direction. Just like I said, you don't want to cover the whole tile right away with Mod Podge because it does dry very quickly. And then you're just going to be reapplying anyway. And you can layer these shapes any way you'd like to create that stained glass effect. In the example that I showed you at the beginning of this video, I decided to leave some white spaces, so some of the tile below could come through. That's totally up to you. If you want to leave white spaces, you can. If you want to cover the whole top, you can do that as well. And I actually covered the sides a little bit too. I didn't cover the bottom of the tile, but there were a few pieces, as you can see, of tissue paper that were a little bit too big. So I decided to just put them right over the edge. So it's really up to you. If you want to stay totally on the smooth top surface of the tile, you can do that. If you want to add some to the sides or even to the bottom, you could do that too. If you're going to put tissue paper on all sides of your tile, I suggest doing maybe the top first, letting that surface dry totally, and then flipping it over to do the back. So it's real simple. We're just gently adding Mod Podge with gentle strokes and then covering the tissue paper as well with gentle strokes. If you put too much Mod Podge on, it can get kind of gunky. So I like to just do it very lightly. And here again, the tissue paper was just a little bit too big. So I just kind of used my brush to wrap it around the corner. So we're going to continue doing that until we have our whole front square filled. All right, friends, we're almost done. We just have a few white spots left. One thing to be aware of as you're working on your project, the more Mod Podge you add, the more delicate the tissue paper becomes. So if you add a bit too much or a bit too rough with your brush strokes, the tissue paper can start to tear and it can get a bit messy. So just be aware of that as you're painting. Try to brush as lightly as you can as you're creating your tile coaster. And if you always want to add more tissue paper, you can allow your project to dry a little bit so the tissue paper is more stable, and then you can add more coats too. But I'm finishing up here and adding just the last few pieces, and play around with the color as well. It's really up to you how you want this to turn out and how you want it to look. It's your project. Almost done here. And this is the tricky part too, as you get more and more Mod Podge and tissue paper on your coaster. It is harder to pick up when it is wet. But there you have it. So we have our tile coaster done. It's very wet right now. You'll want to let it dry. And then if you'd like, once it's dry, you can always add another coat of Mod Podge to just make sure it's a little bit more durable, especially if you're going to be setting things on it. You might just want to do that. Add one more coat once this coat is dry, and then it'll seal up beautifully. And then you have a tile coaster. All right, friends, thank you so much for joining me for another Maker Monday, and I hope you enjoy your project. Please remember, if you'd like, you can share it with us by tagging us on Facebook or Instagram, or you can also email us a picture of your project as well. All right, friends, take good care. Bye-bye.